Hello, I'm Melissa from Fresh Blooming Clothing on eBay and welcome to my channel. Today we are shipping clothing and lots of fun jewelry, including these stunning earrings. So pretty, so iridescent. And somebody bought like 6 items. Also, I screwed up with somebody's ring, so I have to do the process of reshipping the ring that almost looks identical to the ring I already shipped them. So have to straighten that out. Also, I have to sign out of my mom's account. I have been listing for my mom. If you don't know, she mentioned it, so I'm sure I'm fine to mention it, but I have to switch accounts back to me. We had some really aggressive thunderstorms here in Southwest Florida last night and the night before, and all of our power went out, so I had to start the computer all over and everything reset. So we are on eBay. We are good. We have some new fun tissue papers. My husband is still folding a few prints, but got a few new prints, and I think I have everything I need. We'll see. I'm always thinking that, and then I get up and I'm like, oh, forgot this. So let's click into orders. We're going to start with the oldest first. This is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She says, hi, Melissa, love YouTube. Hi, Michelle. The special offers won't let me add the cart for the shipping discount at $150 each additional. I say $150 each additional because if you get like 2 pieces of clothing, the shipping does go up a little bit if it's like 15 ounces to 2 pounds. However, I usually refund more than that, and I've already taken care of that. Just letting you know that I ordered several items. Sorry for the work. It is no work in refunding you. Literally on my phone, it's like 3 buttons. Super easy. Even on the computer, it's easy. Also, tell your mom I love her YouTube channel. She was just here this morning, and I also saw her last night. So, she purchased some vintage clip-on black gold triangle dangles mod earrings. Did I put earrings? I did. Where's the other one? Here we go. I already took these out of the package. Also, I have been painting and hitting my fingers, so I am sorry for for what my fingers look like. So those are those earrings. She ordered those. She also ordered this necklace, which is really cool. I'm going to tell you roughly what she paid. The black earrings, maybe $9-ish. This next necklace, $19 to $20-ish. I put it on a golden chain. I don't think it originally came with this chain. It's like a hexagon. There we go. With a sparkly gold. I guess you could wear it either way. And then some red chips and almost like a pale blue iridescent shell chip in the middle. And then I thought, because the chain seems a little too small, it's like a little bit chokery, that I thought I would include a few. I buy these in bulk and give them out, just cords, so she could put it on a red cord. They're a little bit longer and they're fairly strong. Next, she ordered some earrings. These I do have to take out of the package. These were made by Coro, and they are clip-on crest earrings with an enamel red and white. And they're like actually little shields. Tiny though, tiny, cute. Those were about $7 to $8. A brooch, and this is a vintage blue silver 3-leaf brooch pin, rhinestone round, about $7. It is very sparkly. You can kind of see the leaves. This one was unmarked, and I don't think Google reverse image brought up any maker. Next up a 3-piece set by Sarah Cove. This includes the brooch, which is a pineapple. I love this piece. And I don't know if these were like meant to be put together, but they were all Sarah Cove, all marked. And you'll see almost the identical kind of amber brown color. Earrings, bracelet. Why did I put necklace? There's no necklace. I want to make sure there's no necklace. I checked necklace. Yeah, there's no necklace mentioned other than me checking it. Sorry about that, Michelle. So here are the earrings, and I'll show you the brooch at the same time. Oh, I mentioned necklace because it could be worn on a chain. It has like one of those little bells at the, that's why I mentioned it. I do not need my hands to be pricked. Okay, so there is the brooch, and here are the earrings. I don't know if I can show the bracelet at the same time. And then here is the bracelet. They all match nicely. And I see what she paid for that. $33.49. And then, oh, I love these earrings so much. These were one of my favorite pieces that I had in my store. I have a few other favorite pieces. It's a good thing I don't wear jewelry. Just collect it to sell it. You can kind of see that blue is like so clear. It reminds me of the sea. And then even this like top part is fun. Are these marked? I don't think these were marked. $4,000 because I love them that much. They were $23. Okay, so that is all of hers. This poor ring. So we are going to, I've got lots of different boxes. Let's see what fits in what. I think we'll start with the 3-piece set. Should we put that? No, we'll put that in the white box. I mostly get my boxes from Amazon. I used to get them from another maker, but their prices went really high, so I just have a few of those. Okay, I'm gonna do like one of those. We're gonna bubble wrap that so that stays in place for her. Next up, she doesn't have any rings. She has a lot of earrings. Maybe I'll put the earrings in here. I think we're just gonna lay them on top because it would be pretty hard to get clip-on earrings through foam where they sat perfect. Just trying to cushion them so nothing breaks. Need a little bubble wrap. Still have a little bit, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, hopefully not. That's too much bubble wrap. I had a cold, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. My husband gave it to me. Totally blaming him. Like, you have a cold, stay away from me. We didn't kiss for like 5 days, and sure enough, I got it. I lost my voice. That almost always happens for me getting a cold. Okay, this would be very pretty in this like turquoise Tiffany box. So we'll do that. So I have a little bit, I sound a little bit funky. Maybe just in my own head, I don't know. Okay, next is the necklace. I don't think it's gonna fit in here. That's a shame. Will you fit in here? Will you fit in any box I have? Okay, my next thought is to put it in like a little velvet bag and leave the chain hanging out. And then the separate little cords can be put in another little bag so she sees them. I think that's going to be our best bet there. And those all wrap. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items to wrap. I'm wearing a sweater that was sent to me by the woman who sold me all of that jewelry. I don't know, maybe 1,000 pieces of jewelry, probably more than that, because some of them I lotted up, but I have listed 99% of it. There's a few pieces I have to take to a jewelry store just to be tested. But other than that, those are all listed. In fact, almost everything I have in my house right now is listed. Everything except one pair of vintage Gucci shoes that look like heads from the 80s that I have soaked in OxyClean repeatedly. And I think they're at the point now where I can actually list them. And a few other pieces of jewelry. I honestly, I'm gonna stop my shipping video. They're right here. I'm gonna have to take them to a jewelry store. I don't know what they are. We will start with if you're on Instagram and you follow me, I cannot tell you where I got this. This is, I might have gotten it from the bins. I might have gotten it from a bulk lot of jewelry. It is a very heavy Louis Vuitton. It's marked like up and down chain, like a long chain. So it's either a purse strap. Somebody, finally, I got it authenticated, listed it as a belt. And they sent me a photo of this exact one that sold for 980 pounds 3 years ago, something like that. So I have the authentication, but they're sending it to me with like the appropriate stamp and everything about it. It's vintage. So yay for that being taken care of, because that has moved with me and I have had that for years, not knowing what to do with it. Then I have this velvet box. I don't know if this is jade or jadeite. I got it from an estate sale, that really like high-end buyout, and it is marked I forget what the mark is, SG maybe, and then the other side is marked too. It might be gold plated, I'm guessing, but I have no idea how to test jade. Then we have a few pieces that look to be real gold or are marked. This one is marked. It's like a chunky, really well done. I don't know what the jewel in the middle is, but it is marked. I have a bunch of these, like a bunch. I think I have 3. And this was purchased with a gold lot, and they are marked. There's at least 1 or 2 of them that are marked. I think 24 karat. This one's marked, and this one is marked. The other one might be marked. The markings are hard because it's like a weird shape, and they have gemstones set in them. They're all slightly different. So those I need checked. I also have this ring, which I don't know what to do with. It's missing the stone. So that just might be scrap. I have this piece, which is also in that gold lot. It's not marked, so I don't know if that's gold filled or real gold. I have this piece, which somebody made smaller, so there's only a partial marking, but I couldn't find it online. It's a little big for my finger. I don't know if it's silver with gemstones. I don't know. There's a few other pieces over there, honestly. I think this is silver, but again, silver doesn't really bring anything, but it's a cool piece. It's missing the stone. I don't know why I keep it. This was also cut and does have a hallmark, which I don't know, silver and gold hallmarks. It's one of these, like, it's probably called some kind of knot. I have a few other pieces over there that I just need to bring. Oh, maybe they're in here. They're in here. So I might have those for a few years to come. Then I have this amazing cage 3D bracelet. Have I shown this to you? This looks like some kind of really well-made costume piece. The stones look like they could be real, honestly, but they could be like real cheap stones, like semi-precious, but it's a really cool style. And this is not marked, but it is really well made. Like really well made. Then I have this Irish, this is gonna be too big. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm gonna just embarrass myself. It's like C-L-A-D-D A-U-G-H. Oh, I think I spelled that incorrectly. And this is also marked with hallmarks. There's another piece. So I have this bag of like random jewelry, like one-off earrings that are marked that I need to. Here's a whole other bag of like one-off designer pieces that are marked or have some kind of like special jewel thing happening. Nope, can't put that in. Michelle, I almost put your bubble wrapped backs in there. Okay, so I don't know why I started to tell you about that. Oh, that's what I have in the house past the pair of Gucci shoes. And I think that's truly it. So somebody is going to have to thrift here soon. And I haven't thrifted in a long time. So that will be fun. I'm thinking I won't be able to thrift probably until mid-August. It is July 27th because my best friend and her grown-up children now, oh, you're nothing, are coming into town in about 5 days. They're not staying with us. I would be a little more stressed if they were, just because I feel like, you know, I have to do all of the projects. And I've started to paint the bathroom. Bear's bathroom. I'm calling it Bear's bathroom. My husband and I have been married for 23 years. We just celebrated 23 this month. And my mom's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, it's July in Florida. Like, I don't want to really do anything during the day unless we go to the beach. And he had a cold? I don't know why we didn't go to the beach. Maybe it was a weekend. I don't remember. So we just stayed in and watched our favorite shows and ordered food. And my mom and Roger came over. We're gonna do a feather paper, which I just got back in stock. And they celebrated their anniversary right before we celebrated ours. We're about like a week apart. So for their, not birthday, did I say birthday? I meant anniversary. So for their anniversary, we went up to St. Petersburg to Fort DeSoto Park, which is a national park? National, it must be park, right? Can I mention I'm going through menopause again? How many times can Melissa mention that? Words are just like, nope. Remember how you might have remembered that word 2 years ago? Not remembering that word anymore. Let's see, we will also do the Crafty Fox, which I am almost out of we were rationing Crafty Fox, and it was gorgeous. Anytime my mom's husband, Roger, who we saw last night as well, would vacation with my mom in Florida, the weather would be a little shady. If you hit Florida during hurricane season, which is June through November, so if you're coming, you know, to swim, it is a little cold. Not a lot of people would like, not a lot of kids would worry about the water being too cold. But if you like warm water, it's a little cold before hurricane season. We swam in May, but it's a little shocking. So anytime they would vacation, it was during hurricane season. And as you might know, we have pretty aggressive thunderstorms for like 15 minutes a day, sometimes an hour a day, which really turn up the waters, and you get waves, which we're not about the waves and the currents here. We want the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf, to look like flat pool water. We want to be able to see our feet, see anything approaching. I am that cautious of a person. And Roger was like, why do you guys even come here, kind of thing. He would never say that. He's way too nice. Like, if you watch my mom and Roger is really that nice. Like, you're like, what? We just love him. Everybody loves him. And so my mom's like, no, you don't understand. The first time Mellissa took me here, we walked out, it was flat, and we saw like dolphins jumping, and like you fall in love with it one time. And then you can come back years and not see it like that if you're only vacationing. Once you live here, you see it like that a bunch more because you go more often, usually. Says the girl who didn't get to the ocean last year at all. So we went up to St. Petersburg, and I think it's the national park. We went there, and the water was so flat. You could almost see, you could probably like see like your upper thigh. It was a little bit churny, but then the sun would come out, and it was pretty sunny that day. It was perfect. It was perfect. Like, we were probably standing like here. We all had pool noodles and, you know, just like hanging out. We're not like swimming the Gulf. And there was a sandbar, like, I have no, I want to say like 20 feet. It wasn't very far. Like, you could see it. I know it was a sandbar. There's no current that day. We were all like rating. My husband and I came up with this way too detailed rating plan for how good the beach day is, according to like how many people. Like, sometimes it's fun to people watch, so you know, you could give it a high score of that. But if like people are being really aggressive and playing music and screaming, and like you're like, okay, we're docking our beach day, or like the wind, or if there's a lot of clouds on the horizon that look stormy, we have this whole rating system. We have fun. So we were going through the rating system, and once the sun came out, we all rated it like an 8 point something. It was nice. It was just not as clear as it is sometimes. We did see one manatee, and we were, like I said, I'm 5'8" and like hanging out here. So my husband was hanging out like much lower, but we were all floating and enjoying the day. I think I'm gonna do 2 of this leopard paper. So we're standing there, and there's like people on the shore, and like people off to I grew up on Long Island. My husband vacationed in New Jersey because he lived in Pennsylvania. The beaches are nowhere as crowded as that. Like, you really, sometimes we go to a beach, which I am gatekeeping. It is not Anna Maria, but it is fairly close. And there's nobody in sight. So you'll get more manatees because, you know, they like people, but you can't touch them, and they like the warm water, and they like to, so you can like really get close to them. Sometimes you have to get out of the water because they kind of come right up to you. So we're standing, floating there. Put like this little satiny, silky, ribbony scarf. And I saw it out of the corner of my eye because I am constantly scanning for any kind of anything. We've only ever seen 2 shark, my husband and I. One was definitely a nurse shark, far away. Lifeguard saw it. There was only like 4 people on the beach that day, but there was a lifeguard, so we alerted them, and the nurse shark stayed far away, and it was like 4 feet. It was not from us, 4 feet, nurse shark. And it was, we felt so comfortable that after a while we got back in the water, like not deep, but. And then one year on my husband's birthday in August, which is coming up, we saw another shark, and this one was slightly bigger and slightly closer, and we did get out of the water that day. And there was nobody else on the beach, so there was nobody to really warn. And I don't know what kind of shark it was, because it was not close enough, and the water was fairly clear, but not, sometimes the water is truly like bath water. So we're all like hanging out, and I see like this dark shape, and I'm like, guys, it's a manatee. So they all like turn around because we're all looking, scanning, talking. And I saw the snout come up. Manatee are huge if you don't know, and they feel like rocks. You can't touch them now, but like, you know, like 20 years ago, I don't know how many years ago, there weren't laws that aggressively protected them. They love humans. They love interaction. So, and they have like no malice, which is so sweet. So you can't get close. I don't get close to them, but it swam between us and the people that were like on the shore. It must have been like waist level on me. So it was maybe in less than 3 feet of water. So Roger turns around, he's like, oh, is that big dark blob? And I'm like, yes. And then I realized somebody from shore was swimming towards it, and he was a decent swimmer. So the manatee kind of like took off, and they do surface fairly regularly. I think they could hold their breath, you know what I mean? Be under for like 10 minutes, but usually they come up fairly often. So like a little ombre. We might do another ombre. So Roger got to see the dark shape. I don't know if my mom or Bear saw it, because again, this guy was trying to get, I don't blame him. I mean, it's cool if you've never seen a manatee before to see one. It's cool even if you've seen dozens and dozens of them, to be fair. But it did swim a little bit deeper and a little bit further away. Why do I only have a couple ribbons here? I have orange. Yeah, we'll do some orange curling ribbon just to mix it up. So Roger got to see it. And I don't know how big Google says they are, but this one was probably about 5 to 6 feet, I would say. And they are solid. They are solid, and they don't have any fins. So you don't really see them come up unless you see their snout come up. And they are friendly, and they swim in very shallow water sometimes. And sometimes they swim really slowly or just like hang out in groups. So we've seen so many manatee. But that was Roger's first time seeing it. And like I said, you really couldn't see like to your feet, but you could see if there was something in the water. So there's a sandbar, and my mom was like, don't swim all the way out there. And I am a solidly good swimmer. First of all, I can float on my back for hours in flat water, which, I mean, that's just my fat distribution and whatever. So, and I like, the sandbar's like right there. I'm like, this is gonna take me less than a minute to swim there, like overhand. She's like, don't go out that far. I'm like, that's like a really good sandbar. And even if it wasn't, even if it was a mirage sandbar, I'm fine in water over my head. And it was like right there. It wasn't like half a mile away. I wasn't judging the distance. Like I said, I can't guess a number, but I'm like, So like it took me like 10 overhand strokes to get there. And I stand up and it's like mid-thigh. I'm like, do you guys want to like hang out here at the sandbar? They're like, yeah, we're fine here. So then I just swam back and it took no time at all. This is funny. My mom being a mom, being protective. And I would not have, I am not like, let's just go swim in a large body of water with marine life. We are going to do, just because I only brought 3 cards here, if it cost you too much, if it cost you your mental health, it is too expensive. And then you are enough. I just got a bunch of those in, and I just got a bunch of these in. You have done enough to be loved. And on the back is the print. And then my classic, you are enough. I'm trying not to show you the cuts on my fingers. You are enough card. I think she's ordered from me before, so. Stick some of those cards. We'll give her a few extra of the you are enough. How many of those did I pull? Did I not pull any of those? What in the world was I thinking? See? Here they are. But it was a very fun day, and that celebrated, I don't know if that was on their anniversary. I want to say no. And I pulled a whole bunch of face masks. So we will pick this one, which is the Shea Butter Facial Mask. I very much like these. Now, let's get a bag for these. And then for our anniversary, I think it was like the Saturday after our anniversary. Maybe our anniversary was on a Friday. I don't know why we didn't go to the beach. The weather might not have been good. We've been to the beach, I'm going to say 4 or 5 times this season. And it is the end of July, so. But we've been to the pool way more times. We've been to the pool dozens of times, so that is nice. And we ordered from one of our favorite restaurants, which I always screw up. I think it's Shack Station. I always want to say steak or shake, but I think it's called Shack Station, which is confusing to my brain for no reason. Shake. See? Not shack, not steak. It's floating words, which they have almost 4,000 Google reviews, and it's a 4.7. Food is really good. And I got a cranberry walnut salad, I think, without dressing. Okay, I'm gonna guess this weighs 11 ounces. I know I need a poly mailer. It's 9 ounces. Just in case I completely screwed that up and we needed a flat rate padded. Now, I just put together a whole bunch of poly mailer bags for my website. And these are some of the ones I had like left over, because she has so many designs. We will go with the pastel heart, which is like a digital little scallopy heart. It's very cute. So I'm gonna guess this is 10 ounces for Michelle. So with my best friend, one of my best friends coming, she still lives in Pennsylvania. Her oldest is going to college in Florida, and she's got 5 children. It is 9.8, so we'll round up to 10. Her next in line is looking at colleges in Florida. They all love Florida. They've been visiting us for maybe 10 years here in Florida. Okay, Michelle, 10 ounces in this bag is going to be $6.02. I think you paid, I think I refunded you almost like, I don't know, $1 per item except for the first item. So I'm guessing you paid like $6 to $7. I don't know. You might not even know. but they're staying either on Anna Maria or just off at Anna Maria Island, which would be Cortez. Cortez is a fishing village right off the island. When we moved here a gajillion years ago, 10 years ago, we were looking at homes in Cortez and on Longboat Key, which is like a gajillion dollars right now for even the smallest of places. And then of course we settled in Bradenton for about 8 years. Okay, thank you, Michelle. I hope you love everything, especially those blue earrings. Now I have to copy the tracking number. Oh, she's in Washington. I didn't mention that. And let's go and fill in the tracking number for all of the other items. I shipped items maybe 2 weeks ago. My items have been taking about 7 to 10 days to get anywhere. And I'm not sure why. Is anybody else like noticing their tracking is very slow to move? I shipped 5 items about 2 weeks ago, and I actually filmed it, but you didn't see it because I didn't realize how terrible my voice sounded at that time. And it was raining in the whole video. I just scrapped some videos because there's no reason for me to be like, and then it's just raining. It'd just be pointless. But I did ship them on camera, and the person picked them up the next day, my mail carrier, and I'm assuming it was a sub because my mail carrier mostly scans them in, but none of them were scanned. And somebody was like, hey, I bought this item a while ago. It was like a week to 10 days ago. She's like, the tracking number's not coming up. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Let me go check. Sure enough, none of the items had been scanned, but one of them had made it to New York, and the person was, I don't know, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, kind of New England-y area. And I was like, okay, at least one of them. We're not having this problem that I had a gajillion years ago where all of the packages went missing. So at least like one of them is on the move. So I called my post office and they were like, you know, what can they do? And she's like, well, get back to me. And it was like Friday or Thursday night or something. And I called her back and she's like, yeah, I still don't know. I don't know if she called the distribution center or what happened. But Friday, the next day, they showed up. And they showed up like 2 hours from here. All 4 of them. All 4 of them. The other one got delivered. So I don't know what happened. They were all different poly mailers, all first class. This is the next bracelet. I accidentally put this in the clear necklace bin. I organized my jewelry by type and then color. And so this was a little hard to find because I probably thought, you know, I put things in bags and then, but anyway, I found it for Elizabeth. She paid $19.99, maybe with a discount. Do I have a discount on right now? I always forget to check if sales are running. She did receive the items though, and everybody else received their items, but it solidly took 2 weeks and I was getting a little freaked out. I don't have a sale on right now. I have to put a sale bag on. I think it just ended. So this is really pretty. And she is in California. Let's wrap this in the blue box. The blue box has little rubber bands. And I'm guessing Elaine, who sold me all the jewelry and sent me this lovely purple cotton sweater, sent this box because I do not recognize this box. I don't know where it came from. We're going to use the fun honeycomb paper, except that piece. Oh, maybe that piece. And we'll put a little bubble wrap under there. It's way too much bubble wrap. Also, I don't even want to tell you about eBay. In October of last year, oh, that's right, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We are a few days from August. I sold a purse. The person got it, must have used it, returned it. I don't take returns. eBay allows me not to take returns. Every time I call, they're like, you don't take returns. I'm like, yeah, you're allowing me that choice. I'm not like skirting your rules here, eBay. I'm not like breaking your laws. You allow me to accept returns or not. So the person opened it as the zipper was stuck. I got it back. The zipper was fine. However, she took like, it was like a $300, $270 handbag. It was so pretty. She took the extra strap out. She used it. The inside was wet. The paint was scratched. She took the little like wallety thing and like a few, it was in Anushka bags, so like purple bags, and there was like a hand painted mirror. She took all of the extra accoutrements and the dust bag and only shipped me back the bag, which was scratched and wet inside the bag. Not the packaging, not the outside of the bag. So I called eBay, and I have now called them 31 times, including 2 days ago when I almost lost my voice again. And they're like, what do you want us to do? I'm like, I've written down every single time I have spoken with you, spoken with leadership teams. I sent them to the offline team. I want a refund. Like I said, pictures, this should not have closed in her favor. But the only choice I had in the resolution page was to refund her in full or contact her. And I contacted her with photos, and she wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm a liar, I scammed you, haha. She wasn't gonna say that, so that was pointless. So I called eBay 3 times before that case closed. And they're like, oh, no problem. We'll just appeal and it won't be a problem. And it was over Thanksgiving week. So like in November. And now I have called and spoken with who I feel should be able to handle this. And every time, almost every time, do I like the yellow? What? Seriously. Do I like the yellow pom-poms? Maybe I'll do yellow pom-poms. Today's a very yellow day for my ribbon pulling. I have so many ribbons to pull 2 yellow. It's in a yellow mood. Every time they're like, oh, trust us. eBay will message you back in 3 to 7 business days, 24 hours to 48 hours, whatever timeline they think eBay's got to message me back. And do we think eBay has messaged me back every time? No. I've gotten, I think, a total of 2 messages. Neither one had the facts straight. Neither one. So this guy's like, ma'am, what do you want me to do? I'm like, sir, read the notes, get back to me. He's like, we can't do anything about this. And I'm like, that's false. On May blah, 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 I spoke with Ian, and Ian stated that eBay screwed up, and I made Ian type in the notes that eBay screwed up. Anybody tells me something, I'm writing it down, I'm documenting times and dates and who I spoke with and who I was transferred and how long I've been on the phone, because now I've been on the phone for over 40 hours for this bag. And I was like, well, I will call eBay back in about, look how pretty that is. So fun. Do I have a cheetah? I do have a cheetah print bag. I have a couple, but do I have any here? I'm going to say not, which is a shame. This one's kind of a fun. This one just says thank you with like a, I was gonna say rainbow. It is clearly not a rainbow. So I'm like, well, when I call back, do I have to start over? He's like, oh no, just reference this reference number, this SR number, service request number. And I'm like, why didn't that work today? He's like, oh no, ma'am, you just need to tell us this number. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can you put in there everything that happened so you also notate this? He's like, I'll do it after we talk. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on and you type. Put me on hold if you need to. I'm I need to feel like you're typing something because some of the notes have gone missing, which now I'm telling a story and not even paying attention. Is that 4 ounces? 3.4. So he's like, well, what would you like me to write? And I'm like, write how long we were on the phone and that I told you all of these things to look up. Because at first he's like, oh, there was never any manual correction entered. No, manual, you need to manually file this. I don't know what that means. It's like you're a B2C seller versus a C2C seller. You guys, that's like eBay lingo that I've been on eBay since 1999. Now, mind you, it's my husband's account back then, but I've been on eBay since like 2001. So a lot of years. I don't know what any of this means, sending it to the offline team because I'm a B2C seller. You're just speaking eBay gibberish. And does that even mean anything? I don't know. Okay, she's in California, so this is $4.85. She paid $5.99 for shipping. So I'm like, please write that you told me that no manual file has been manual, whatever, I have the notes, whatever the saying was, the manual blah, blah, blah has ever been submitted, because like it's been submitted and the offline team has said it's already been submitted and it's pending. And then you told me it was pending. And then you said they denied it because I had opened it previously. I'm not opening anything. I'm just calling eBay. And every time you need to call eBay, unless you have the highest store, you have to trick the chat, the automated chat, into calling you. And so far, my tip for tricking the chat, because the chat just wants to like give you an AI response of, you know, the eBay page that doesn't even make any sense. Thank you, Elizabeth. I hope you love your bracelet. That is clearly not a necklace. Is typing the word fraud over and over and over. And then the fraud team calls me and they're like, oh, we're sorry, we're the wrong department. We'll get you to the right department. And I'm like, okay, sorry about that. But if you type like returns, refunds, checking on, they're not going to call you. Okay, next for Todd is an item I have had, I want to say like a year and a half to 2 years. It might be longer. I found this at the bins, so this was probably like in with clothing. I'm gonna guess it's like 2 ounces, 1.3 ounces. So this cost me probably less than a quarter, and it is a Mont Blanc, which makes pens, but this is a leather wallet. Now, is this leather wallet, it even has Mont Blanc, you can kind of see the stamp, made in Germany. But I knew the fancy thing because I worked at BMW and some people had those pens. And they're like way too much money for a pen. Unless you're kind of into that thing, and no judgment. It's not in like the duster shape, but you could definitely still use it. It's a card carrier. And if it wouldn't have been this, I might have given it to my husband because he goes through card carriers really fast. But it sold for $57. So, you know, $5,000 markup. It's just been sitting there waiting for the right person to buy it. And Todd bought it. Thanks, Todd. You were in North Carolina. I'm always interested with this kind of thing. We're Googling the address. It's not for sale. I didn't want to buy your house. It's a nice house. It's a nice house. It's not, you know, like Beverly Hills, New York, brownstone house. I just combined 2 houses in 2 completely different states. Okay. I think I have some... These papers get very messy very fast, especially as I'm telling the story. Okay, I think we have 2 sheets left. One sheet left. Had this paper for so long. Oh, we can cut this one. So this is the tie paper. They discontinued it. I think I also pulled blue plaid, which would have been pretty with this too. I mean, any of the papers. Some people don't care, but this would have been really nice too. There we go. That is already folded. We'll fold it one more time. This will match the yellow or the orange. I like the yellow. Should have put some pink and blue. Oh, I did. You're here. It's there. Wait till you see how close my arm gets to you as I pull this. This looks like a mess. It's not. I mean, it is a little messy. It is pieces of, like, I want to say yarn, but some of them are like trims. And I bought those at a thrift store and I got 2 huge bundles of them. We're still going with the yellow. I just have a lot of stuff over here and not too much stuff. Oh, I also pulled like actual bows. I don't know why. Here are actual bows. I think I found these at a thrift store. They're vintage. How fun! They'd be crushed instantaneously in the mail, but we're gonna do the You Are Enough, and if it costs you your mental health, it is too expensive. And we'll put a eye mask. And I do have smaller mailers. However, did I take any of them and put them here? No, I did not. I like my classic aqua hibiscus flower. And this is going to take very little postage. How much did he? Oh, he paid $4.99. So yeah, never mind. I was thinking for some reason he paid for 2.5 ounces. So we'll round up to 3. So my mom's been bringing over some of her items for me to photograph and list because I like doing that stuff. That way I can just put it on Netflix or whatever and just do it at my own speed. $4.35. So like, I don't watch her videos fast enough. We'll say that. I watch probably about half of them. Sometimes I fall asleep and put them on at night. Then I have to go back and like watch. And then she puts them out every few days, twice a week. And so I don't always get to it before she brings me the items. It is so much better than thrifting. Like, oh, look at this random item I have no idea about. I don't know pottery. I don't know what random item she's gonna package for me next. It's been a lot of fun. I've just been doing it in July, so. But last night, I gave her back about like 50 items. Thank you, Todd, who may or may not be watching, that I had done. Some clothing and some hard goods. I've been doing a lot of hard goods. Okay, back to orders. Oh, let's take care of this ring. So, I have a lot of jewelry in my store, if you don't know, because I have been listing all of the jewelry that was sent to me that I purchased for $1,000, which was a good deal. And I sold this ring, which I'm hoping I call dark blue. How many? I don't know how many. I've got 1,200 items. I bet you at least 900 of them are jewelry. So I have a lot of rings, and I'm realizing, I just realized when this woman messaged me how similar some of my items are. So she's like, I got the wrong ring. So she sent me the picture of what she got. And then I like looked at it on my phone and I'm like, these look very similar, like same color, same tier, same. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, just keep that one. I'll just end it. It was like a $15 ring, or donate it or whatever, keep it, end it, whatever. And I'll just send you the correct one. And then I decided to also refund her for this one. But where is this ring? Here it is. So we are going to go to the drop down. We could go to the shipping page or the order page and go back. So here's what it looks like. It is a size 8 dark blue ring rhinestone 3D cupcake cluster silver tone band round halo ring. And the one that I ended was probably called something very similar. I might have even deleted it already. I didn't. Okay. It was called Ring Dark Blue Oval Sapphire, Faux Sapphire, Rhinestone Halo Silver Tone Cluster CZ. And it had the blue, and it looks so similar. But it was a different size. And I mean, looking at it, like really studying it, you can definitely tell that I called it like a cupcake. It looks like a wedding ring or like a wedding cake, like a little tiered. So she was really sweet. Little box, little bubble wrap. And I don't often make those mistakes, but I mean, I am human. That is still too much bubble wrap. Will you fit around there? I don't think you'll fit around there. Do you have any other bubble wrap past the craft paper? I don't think so. So I wanted to get this out in tomorrow's mail, which is Monday. She let me know yesterday, and I was like, if the mail didn't go already, I will absolutely put it in today's mail. But the mail had already been picked up. And did they scan in the tracking numbers? Yes, yes they did. Because they mostly do. So, do I remember what paper she got last time? No, I don't. However, I don't think I had the feather paper last time. So, we will do feathers. I have my air conditioner set at 72. I have a mini split here in the office. I do not know why it took me so long to put in a mini split. I don't know what I had in my head of how much these were. It cost me about $700 to have it brand new, Comfort Star, which had good reviews, installed. $700, which I mean, like, if you're struggling, $700 is a lot of money, but we weren't struggling and like, it's a giant room that was like 120 degrees in the summer, and I kept some items in here, so it was ridiculous. Put this down there. So they installed it, and then we realized it was tripping the electric in my bathroom, which I don't blow dry my hair. I don't know how to blow dryer. I only use my bathroom plug, the GFI-CGCI, you know what I'm talking about, plug for a nightlight. Because when we moved in, and still sometimes, I'm a bit clumsy. And some of that, and I went to the eye doctor, but I kind of already knew. Okay, so I'm assuming she already got the URNF, so we'll go with the other two cards. And another eye mask is probably a little bit due to the fact that I don't wear glasses inside the house unless we're watching TV, because I'm like 2150, 2175, somewhere in that range. If I'm driving, if I'm like really, if I'm gardening, I'm not wearing them, because anything up close, I'm still fine. I had LASIK surgery 2003? It's over 20 years ago. And it was 2,900 and 2,775, whichever one. But like 2,900 is I don't know what legally blind is, but it's pretty close. What is legally blind? It was bad. Generally refers to a vision, really, of 2,200. Whoa. I thought it was like 20,000. Is that true? It's not a medical diagnosis. Okay. Well, I mean, glasses were helping, but my glasses were aggressively getting thicker and thicker. So I had LASIK, and they told me at the time that I probably wouldn't need reading glasses for longer than most people. And it's true, I do not need reading glasses, and I do look at my phone and read a lot. I look at my phone a lot. If I'm in bed, which I was for this pink-eyed cold weird thing, I do tend to read a lot, which I'm saying it like it's a bad thing, but I will forget about the rest of the world and forget about the fact that I get hungry and need to just read. So we try not to do that unless we have like a solid 3 or 4 hours. And I'm so thankful I could walk to 2 libraries, but again, it's Florida, so not doing that during the day. Thank you, Stacy. Sorry I sent you the wrong ring. I don't know if you you watch me or not, but clearly I screwed that one up and you were very sweet about it. Okay. Next. This is going to Caesar. Caesar is not spelled the normal way. That is not the correct terminology for that. Oh, there is an accent though, so I'm assuming I just Googled. I just put it in. Oh, it's a website. I should put that as a website. That came up at the Office of Cybersecurity. So pronunciation. I'm guessing it's Spanish, probably. Caesar in English. It's pronounced Cesar in Spanish, with the emphasis on the second syllable. Emphasis Cesar? I don't know. Anyway, he had asked me about this, and this was one of the items I got from that house that I cleaned out in April before I had bronchitis. My immune system, as over the years, just with my illness, and everybody stay away from me. This is a Pendleton men's shirt. I almost kept this, but I already have so many cotton t-shirts that look exactly this. It is size small, but the chest is like this. I think this is a medium. I don't know, and it's a woman's. But this, I think it was like 43 or 44. It's pretty large, but it is an older Pendleton label, so it must have been like a relaxed fit or something. So he checked, and it has like the little Pendleton. Love Pendleton. So what did he pay for this? So I'm so glad. So many times you get questions, especially on Facebook Marketplace. A fun story about that next. He paid $13 for it. So we asked a few questions just to make sure my measurements were correct, and I totally understand why. And then he bought it. How often does that happen? Never. So on Facebook Marketplace, I have, I don't know, like 20 items. I'm helping somebody else in the community sell some of their items, and I do a 70-30 split. It's an easier thing to do. It's not like clothing or anything aggressive. It's like, here, scissors, $20. Like, it's the porch pickup, or it's easy peasy. So anyway, so I have one of their smaller items. They know what I have. I took some of the smaller items because to go up to their house, they live in California. I was gonna say up north. The other people live up north. And I have their key, and every time I go over there, I'm like, I'm going into your house. I ring the doorbell. They're never there. they tell me when they're here. We meet up when they're here. They're very nice. So I have the item. So the person's like, I love this. Is there any chips, cracks? What's the measurements? So nicely, I screenshot the measurements, which are all in the photos, and screenshot the description, which says there's no chips and cracks. It's in perfect condition. It's vintage. It's blah, 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 blah. I was wondering, I can't do it. I can't use my last piece of tie paper. We're going with the blue. So I screenshot it and sent it to them, and I'm like, please see the above photos. No chips, cracks, 10 inches tall, whatever it was. But like, I typed it out and I said, it is lovely. And they're like, we love this. Great. It's a $10 item. So we love this. And sometimes like I get chatty about a Facebook marketplace I'm excited for. Usually it's like a 1980s mauve, more expensive item that like I needed to complete my entire thing. And the person was like, I loved this as well, blah, blah, blah. Or like they start the conversation. And then like if I pick it up and they're really interested and like, I'm like, this is gonna be perfect for my house. And sometimes like I'll send them a photo and befriend them forever. There's a woman who picked up a piece of art I had hanging in my living room. There's so many sitting rooms in this random house, which my mom and I sat in the actual sitting room this morning. She just showed me some photos from her phone, which I almost never do because I don't know why. If I'm sitting here, I'm working. If I'm sitting and watching TV, we sit in the TV room. There's no reason to sit in the room that has no TV and no... Anyway, it has sunlight. It is pretty. I think we're going to... Why is that so tiny? Are you bigger? You are bigger. I think we're just going to wrap this. But look how pretty. Somebody sent me this. If you sent me this, thank you. I'm still using the ribbon that I got over a year ago. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, so she's like, this is going to be perfect in my kitchen and I'll serve lemonade out of it. And I'm like, thumbs up. We don't need the story. And then they're like, you don't happen to have any of the matching cups? No. Okay. She's like, is it a true turquoise? Oh my goodness, guys. It's like this color glass. I'm like, yes. She's like, oh, I think somebody had this in my family. So like so many messages in a row. At this point, I'm like, thumbs up. And I'm like, what time do you want to pick it up? I'm like, enough already. Like, do you want the item? We don't have to just, don't have time for this. I probably did have time for this. I wasn't mean. I swear I wasn't mean. We're going to do tie-dye. This does not, I mean, it kind of matches, but it's two completely different mix and match prints. So they're like, yes, can I come get it tomorrow morning? And I'm like, absolutely. So I'm like, message me tomorrow morning. We live next to this landmark right outside the community. Message me tomorrow morning. And they're gonna, I said, if you have like a work truck, a big air conditioned, blah, 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 they're not gonna let you in overnight. It's like a quiet neighborhood. So, I mean, they'll get in, no bother. But supposedly, after 10 p.m. to like, I don't know, 6 a.m., you're not really supposed to have like huge air conditioned trucks unless it's an emergency. So like, sometimes people pick stuff up in like their work truck. They have a roofing vehicle or a whatever, a work van. And I'm like, can you know, let me know if you have this kind of vehicle because I don't want to break rules. So they're like, no, we'll message you in the morning when we're on the way. So they're like, so I'm like, okay, so now I have to wake up early because they're planning on being here like before 8 o'clock. Good. I have no idea what that said. 7? My brain might have registered 7. I don't know. I can't talk and do this. Anybody that says they're doing two things at once, unless it's breathing, I think Mythbusters debunked that. I'm gonna do a few things. few things at once, but this is not one of them. Tell the story. So yesterday, they're like, we're on the way. I'm like, okay. So I had woken up at like 6 or whatever, and I wasn't sleeping well and whatever. I go off of my sleeping medication because I do not like to be hooked on medication if I can help it. And it's always a little rough to come off sleeping medicine, as you've probably heard me say before. But I'll only allow myself to go so long without sleeping. And it is getting better. Thank you, Caesar? I forgot already. Cesar, I think. Hope you love the shirt. So like, we're on the way. I'm like, okay. So I had already turned up my ringer, so it woke me up, and I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to leave a breakable, I don't know why I usually store it over there. It's now in the front room in a box, because it's a breakable item. I didn't want to leave it on my porch overnight, not because it would be stolen necessarily, you never know, but because, you know, a storm could come in. And although we have like a covering on the front porch, and I even hate to call it like a porch, you can't really, unless I put a chair there and I didn't open the door, you can't really create the atmosphere of a porch. So I put my robe on, I put my hair back because my hair is going to drive me crazy. It is getting longer. I can ponytail it, but it is going to drive me crazy even at 7 something in the morning outside in Florida. And I like boxed it up and I put it out and I said, okay, this is my house. There's no GPS. Everybody thinks like, oh, just Google it. You're just going to get lost. 99% people cannot find my house because the numbers don't go in order for no good reason. I think you're not going to care about any of these stories. It's okay. It's a chit-chatty video. That's what these are. I think this house was meant to have a front door facing that way, and our front door faces a 90-degree angle this way. So our address is this road. I'm not going to give out numbers, but pretend the number 123 is on this side. We're like number 92. It's like 1, and then across the street 92, 3, and then like 4 next to us. Like, we are not anywhere connected to the numbers on the street we're in. So what I thought about like 6 months ago, I'm like, where are those numbers? Because in this neighborhood, they only repeat numbers once. So like, if you're number 92, if you tell the person I live in this community, I'm number 92, and they like, no, there's only, so like the mail carrier knows there's only one number. And if somebody's like, I'm Nicholas and I live in 147, I don't know how high the numbers go. He didn't really have to tell me a road because like, that's how the community works. Although there are roads, like the numbers, there's only one number. It doesn't matter. So let's pretend I'm 92. So this road, which is a completely different name, the one on this way, like diagonal behind us, is like 91 or 93. These are not actual numbers that we are, but, and I realized this, we have the original blueprints. They must have changed the door like fairly last minute. So if our door had faced what the blueprint said, we would have been 92, whatever that road was. But instead we're like 92 on this road, and this road doesn't go up to 92. It's like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and we're like randomly. So Google, and I tell people we're across from like number 1 and 2, and this is what our house looks like, and this is what our car looks like if the car's home, and this is the numbers are on the mailbox and the light post, and on the, we have to have the numbers everywhere, and then usually I get a text, I can't find you, I'm over blah blah blah. Like, please just read the above. Please, that's most of my life. Please just read the thing I've already told you. Okay, next item. Do we have 2 more items? I don't know. I keep going back to the same item. eBay. So yesterday, wake up, package a thing. Didn't want to leave it overnight in case the rain came in or the winds. We had get thunderstorms, so put it out there. They said they're on the way. I'm like, okay, it is out there. I just went to listings and I'm like, I sold all of these items? I did not. Oh. So they're like on the way and I'm like, okay. And then at like, that was a little bit before 8. At like 10 o'clock, I'm realizing like, and I just told them put money under the mat. It's a $10 item. Like unless somebody's like, I want Venmo, or like I'm not waking up and like just randomly going out and meeting you and introducing myself to a stranger for $10 who've already told me the entire story about what they want. At like 10 o'clock, I'm like, huh, that's still out there. Like, what happened? They didn't message. So I'm like, did you guys ever come into the community? Are you here? Like, what happened? They're like, oh, we're sorry, we got detoured. We stopped somewhere. We'll be there at 10:30. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Time goes by. I'm doing stuff. These are pajamas. I want to tell you about these pajamas. I love these so much. I love my items, most of my items. I've had these for a long time too. Maybe it was the sale. Clearly need to put on another sale. I was like, So I bring it back in. I need the box because my mom had given me the box full of treasures. So when I list her treasures, I wrap them and put them back in the box, and we just keep like repeating that process. She buys the items at Goodwill or wherever she goes. She puts them in wrapping in the box in the tissue paper and then hands me back, and then like we do that. So like, please don't take the box. It's a good sturdy box. Please don't take my box. Just take the vase out of the box. So I wrote them and they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Can we do it tomorrow morning? Yes, you can. But I've already given them my address, like, so whatever. Nobody else wanted it. It wasn't like, did they come this morning? They text me. Can we come about 8:30? Sure. I wake up, take 2. Put the box back outside because we did get really aggressive thunderstorms. So like, again, it's glass. It's in a sturdy box, but like, things have blown away before. This brand is Stripe and Stare. This material is so soft, and I bought it at a thrift store, I think for a couple dollars. So if I remember, I think like $2 to $4. And I loved this top. It is a small, and I'm not like usually a woman's small, but it's pajamas, and the sleeves are so nice and long, and the material is what, like modal or like clouds, modal elastane, and it's 95%, and it has the pajama pants, and I am not like pajama girl. I wear the cottoniest ripped up tank top boxer shorts that look like should just be, they're already recycling on my body, discomposing, you know what I mean. So here are the pants. So like, I wasn't like thrilled with wearing pants, but those are also so cute. And this is a really good set. It sold for like $140 or something. And I looked them up when I purchased them, but they took a very long time. So is this still a good brand? I want to say no, right? If they took that long. Stripe and, oh, and they sold for $20. Stripe and Stare pajamas. So I go into Facebook and I'm like, person left the group chat. They didn't even like follow up and be like, we're sorry, we changed our mind. We're like, I couldn't message them. They just like left the group chat. I left them a 3-star. I'm not so petty that I'm gonna leave somebody a 1-star, but not cool. Okay. Search instead. It keeps changing my search, eBay. I'm the only one who sold this brand? Yikes. Maybe don't buy this brand. There's 36 pairs of pajamas from 120. What's the lowest pair? A tank top for, well, 70% off at $9. Here's just a top. I was looking for actual pajamas. Okay, it's a tank top and shorts, but this is also $30 and they go up from there to $120. But I'm the only one who has sold anything in the completed listing. So good brand, so soft. But only sold for $19, which still I made money, but we thought we were gonna make a lot more. Where are these headed? Jillian in Florida. Oh, Jillian, I know you're, how far is that from me? It's not far, I don't think. Like an hour, less than an hour? 30 minutes. Well, it'll take 2 weeks to get to you, don't worry. Just because you live around the corner does not mean anything right now. We are going to use this paper. I forget what they called this one. It has a darker background. It's one of the few florals with a dark, this is black? I think it's black. And there is no gold. I just reviewed the Jilson Roberts holiday catalog. I hope I cut that large enough. Oh, we did, but just. Can you see what I'm doing? Sorry about that. Now thinking, should I price out LASIK surgery? The first time I had LASIK, they did offer me, I did not know. I had never taken meds. That's probably not true, but like prescription. I was young. I was healthy. And they were like, we can give you something to calm you down. It started with a V. Valium? First, I don't know. It was a pill. Maybe Valium. I don't know. Some kind of calming. Because, you know, it's a little scary. It's your eyes, so you can't really feel it, but like you have to look into it. Used to be. Don't listen to this if you have any kind of eye issues. It's not bad. I swear I made it through. It's like a 5-minute thing. You look into a laser and then like they do stuff. And then they cover your eye and like the next day, the day after, you can almost immediately see. Like it's incredible, but you're not supposed to use your eyes. And I don't know what the process is now because it's 20 something years later and I'm sure it advanced. And back then it was like $2,000. And I had insurance, and because my eyesight was so bad, my insurance partially covered it. I don't know. I don't remember the whole story, but I was thrilled. Like everything was amazing to look at because I was so I can't see anybody. If you're here, it was blurry. Like just everything was blurry. Everything past reading was blurry. It's probably why I was really into reading when I was growing up. Couldn't see anything. I did get glasses, I think in the 3rd grade, and I do vaguely remember this. I don't remember much from like early to mid childhood. I do remember the teachers sitting me down. I loved school. I loved learning. I loved not the other kids so much, sorry other kids, but I loved learning. And the teacher had moved me up front because like, I don't know, my grades must have dropped or somebody realized I needed glasses and they tested me and I did not want glasses because the 80s. And she's like, no, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be really good. So in 3rd grade, I got my first pair of glasses. And I think they were either red or pink. My mom let me pick out the color. And sure enough, I remember seeing, and then in 6th grade, and I remember this, I got even better glasses. I'm sure my prescription went like, same with my immune system. Okay, this is headed to Jillian in Florida, and she paid 19 something, $20, and $6.99 for shipping, and my cost is $6.21. And in 6th grade, I got newer glasses, and I remember being in the car. And if you have glasses, you probably also have this memory. This is not like I'm realizing like we've all had the same, most likely somebody else has experienced this if your vision was bad and you got glasses or contacts. I remember that the leaves on the trees, like I knew there were leaves on trees, but I didn't ever see them. And like everything, like I was like, I can see leaves. And I'm sure my mom was like, yeah, great. Like, great, that worked. She was probably more. My mom is, but she had 3 kids and was working. I mean, my mom was such a hard worker from so long. I don't want to put my mom down, but like, I was like the whole world just like completely changed, shockingly mind-blowing. Thank you, Jillian. Mind-blowing for me. Did you also have glasses if you had bad vision? I remember seeing like leaves. That's my specific memory. And then I wore glasses until I was in my early 20s, and then I got LASIK, and that also changed my world. I could wake up in the middle of the night and just see. But now my vision is going back the other way, and I'm not there yet, but like the screen is probably 6 feet away from me, like my phone screen. And it's a little blurry, like to where I probably should have angled this down so you could have seen better, but like everything's a little blurry on my screen. I could see the computer fine, which is good. That's all that matters. And I have glasses, like I said, for when I drive. And if I'm in the Gulf, I have prescription sunglasses because, again, anxiety. Now, don't want to be unaware of something. These are stunning. These are headed to Rachel. Hi, Rachel, if you watch me. Vintage gold double knock earrings, pierced door knocker golden. That wasn't even enough characters. I could not think of any other keywords for these. These have all been selling within like a month or so, most of the jewelry. $22. They are shiny, they are fun, they look kind of designery. Some designers do make this style. I wish I could tell you which ones. I do not remember. So, where to put them? Maybe this box? It'll probably fit. That'll probably look really pretty in the black box. All these like little things have cutouts for rings and earrings and things, but some of them, these are actually pierced ears, so those will be okay. A little wrap in there. This, I can't do anything with this. Oh. We have shiny pink bubble wrap. Don't know where that came from. I can't do anything with any of these. It's too tiny. I'm gonna have to get more bubble wrap. It's right on the other side of this door. Also, I'm wearing my painting pants, which weren't painting pants about a month ago. I was painting linen capris. So my husband's bathroom, we sleep apart. I snore aggressively or sometimes don't sleep. He sleeps later than I do. Like he usually goes to bed at like 2 o'clock. Sometimes I go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock. Sometimes I'm just up if I don't feel well or whatever, but we usually have pretty different schedules. And again, did I mention I snore? I bought one of those. If you're on TikTok, you've probably seen the magnetic nose strips. I have the generic Breathe Right strips. A lot of times they don't stick to my face because I'm at the age where I've been using hydrating cream and sunscreen since college, because I knew somebody told me to start wearing sunscreen. I don't remember who. Probably somebody that I didn't even know, because the person I remember telling me about skincare was somebody at, like, I want to say Sephora, but I don't think it was a Sephora. My mom might know. It was probably like CVS counter. I don't know what my mom went to buy. I don't think it would have been the mall. I'm guessing it was like a counter, like Walgreens or Rite Aid or something used to have like perfume and skincare counters in the store. I am old. And she was like, I was a teenager. She's like, well, what's your skincare regime? Some kind of fancy, in my head fancy. I mean, it was like the 80s, 90s. She probably had like shoulder pads and a blazer. It was probably like my fancy level. And I was like, soap? And then I'm sure I told this story because it's in my head. She's like, no soap, no soap, no soap. She did it 3 times. My sister also remembers. My sister's memory is incredible. It's very fun to have a sister who's 3 years younger than you, because I really think I get most of my childhood memories from her. She's like, remember when? And then she'll say something like, we had separate beds. And I'm like, no, we had bunk beds growing up. And she's like, Mellissa, we had separate beds when we were like, and then she'll name like, you were 13. And I'm like, what? Like for 5 years? How did that happen? I have no memory of that. Or she'll be like, do you remember when you drove us to, and then she'll name like a place I should absolutely remember driving somewhere. No, I have no memory of that. Sorry. I believe her. 2 ounces. Rachel's in PA. Oh, I know that town too. $4.41. She paid, did I say what she paid? She probably paid $4.99 for shipping. Mind you of Walmart. Oh, so happy. So the woman who told me and clapped at me 3 times and said no soap 3 times, guess what I still use on my face? Dawn soap. Every night. Been using it years and years and years. Dozens of years. Just to spite the woman in the blazer. So I clean my face. I've always had very oily skin. But now it is slightly going back the other way. My hair has slightly, I've probably just had slightly better products. Thank you, Rachel. Love your middle name. Or your last name. That's hyphened, but not hyphened. Slightly not as aggressively oil. Like, I washed my hair yesterday afternoon, and in my teens, 20s, 30s, it would have already been greasy. And now it's not. I can get like a day and a half out of it. So my face is at the point where it's like starting to dry out slightly, so it's not as greasy, but the Breathe Right strips don't stick to my face, especially if I am putting on product. Next item, last item. Orders. That's what we're looking for. Oh, it is right here. It's going to match the pink ribbon. We have a pink purse. I want to make sure all the zippers work on this. Zipper lady scarred me. We're going to put this handle in. Let's make sure that, yes, all zippers are working. That's the tag. Let's put that in there. Last zipper. I have a lot of these handbags. They're really nice. There's a lot of pockets. It's a pretty decent size. I used to have them in purple and pink and orange and red. And I think I only have the red and pink left. This bag's open, so we're gonna put it in a secondary bag. This is headed to Leslie. Hi, Leslie. My husband and I booked a trip. Big news for me. Back to Pennsylvania. He went back to Pennsylvania in early July of last year because I was having surgery in June, and then I had to heal for 8 weeks and have surgery again. So it turned out to be June and September, and he knew he wanted to go back and see his family and stuff. And you know, people are aging and totally understand. So he went in July, and I didn't get to go back because big sicky head over here, it would have been a little much. So we booked our trip back to Pennsylvania. I've been looking at airline flights for quite some time. And if you fly Allegiant Air, which is like cheap airline out of the Sarasota airport to some places, sometimes you can get flights for $49, $41. I've seen 30 something dollars occasionally, but usually it's like one seat. And you can't bring anything past a purse, and you can't pick your seat. So like, and it's one way. So usually it's about $100 if you don't pick your seat, and if you just bring a handbag. Which my husband did do, except he did need to pick his seat last year because he is 6'6". And although he's not like super bulky, he is pretty broad, and he is 6'6". So to be like put in the middle of somebody, for those people and for him, it would literally be impossible for his legs. His inseam is 38. So we booked it, and the prices were like 40 something dollars. I was like, oh, we should probably get on that. But by the time we got on that, which was like a day and a half later, but we needed like to check with a few people. We wanted to see if they were going to be in town, and you know, all of that stuff. And you know, if he had dates off, we had to coordinate all of that. My husband's been seeing a little bit more, which is very, very good. Look how fun that is. That'll be my thumbnail if I remember. We're going to do this gold one matches, and we will do the floral one. And what are you? You are calendula. Calendula. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's some kind of botany. Well, it looks like it's a flower. Okay, we'll take your word for it. I'm going to need a bigger bag. Bigger bag. So we booked it, and it was up to like 50 something dollars each way, which is still fine. And again, if you want to pick your seat, if you want a back middle seat, it's 10 cents. Or, which is like the worst seat on the plane in my mind, or you could just not pick your seat and it's free. So my husband's like, why aren't you picking your seat? It's 10 cents. And I'm like, that's the worst seat. Why would I pay 10 cents more each way? So 20 cents. It's only 20 cents. But like, to be absolutely in the worst seat when I could just like roll the dice and save 20 cents. So we finally got him to understand that thought process. They don't make you pick up a seat. But he did need, and even bulkhead is a little iffy. That's what we had to do with one of his flights last year. So we have to put him in the emergency room. Emergency room. That's not where we put him. It'd be less comfortable, I think. Maybe. The emergency row. That's 15 ounces. That's what I thought. But then I felt, it feels bigger than that. Okay, so they paid $9.99 maybe, and $6.99 shipping. There could have been a sale. I don't know when they purchased this. And my cost is $6.72. I will put on another sale for like, I don't know. Last time I did 30%, which is a good chunk for me to put on a sale. I don't know if I've ever done 30%. Maybe I'll do that again. I think that costs an extra $35 each way. And now that I'm thinking about it, one of us probably should have taken the bag option. And we did put insurance on our trip. So it was like $300, which still isn't bad for 2 people into Pittsburgh. And then we had to rent a car, which we rent through Turo, which is like, I don't know, $207 or something. But then we put insurance on the car. We have insurance, obviously car insurance. Thank you, Leslie. But I needed the ability to cancel the car and cancel, and then we, you know, with both of us, we just don't know how we're going to be feeling. And I haven't literally been on an airplane or back to Pennsylvania in over 10 years. Like, we went to my sister's, who was living in West Virginia at the time, but we drove up because evacuating from the hurricane last year. But I haven't been on a plane in a very long time, and I don't know how either one of us are gonna feel in October. So like, we want to plan the trip, but also for another like $30, they're like, do you want to be able to cancel your trip last minute? I'm like, oh, we better do that as well. So now that we've spent, you know, $4 quadrillion, still, it'll be under $1,000, which is really good for 2 people. And I am so looking forward to seeing some friends and family. And one of our best friends lives there. A lot of our best friends are still up there. One of them is coming down in a few days. I'll probably see her back in October. Not back in October. That would be going back in time last October. In October when we're going. But one of our other best friends, and her mom's health isn't good enough to where she can visit us at this point. She's visited us in the past many times at our home, but her birthday is during that time. And then my husband's aunt's birthday, who still lives on the same road. We're staying on the same road that my husband and my last name is, because it is a tiny town. Have I mentioned how tiny the town is? And his mom's last name is a road, and his dad's last name is a road, because everybody in his family lives there. And maybe a few extra people, but honestly, I'm not sure. I am literally not sure. The population has gone down and not up. So I literally don't know if anybody has moved into this very tiny town in the middle of nowhere that even the postal code is like 10 minutes away. The town doesn't even have. Anyway, that's the end of this. I hope you are doing well. I was able to keep my energy that entire time, which is truly amazing, because I don't know how long I've been going for. Almost 2 hours, I think. But we got a lot accomplished. Also, husband's bathroom. I should have taken photos when it was all clean, which will be in another few days. Like, clean and staged clean, not like just our house is clean. We have a robotic vacuum, thank goodness, because with the weird shapes of these rooms, vacuuming is just sometimes a lot. And my husband not great with the vacuuming because he has mouths, and so thank goodness for the robotic vacuum. If we could have a robotic, I don't know. We need a plastic house that we just hose out. I don't know what the fix is there, but maybe not plastic. Maybe natural latex. I don't know. I would put it in a picture of my husband's bathroom usually at this point, but just know I probably will take one here in a week when we stage the bathroom because friends are coming to hang out. So I will do that, but it looks very, very nice. And now that that bathroom is done and we have an air condition and we've done all the rest of the things to the house, the next thing on the list, not all of the things, we've done some of the things we didn't want to do, but we had to do to the house to shore it up, and windows and curtains and all of the things. Windows are pricey and vapor barriers are pricey and roofing is pricey and all the things are pricey. So, you know, I'm trying to make wise decisions and not put too much into a house, but make it livable. I'm going to paint my bathroom, and we have extra flooring. It's like vinyl plank, commercial grade. I don't know what this is called. I honestly don't even know if it's called vinyl plank. There was an L word and a V word, and my mom's like, oh, you have to go with this word. And I was like, okay, this word is good. And we got it. And thank goodness the flooring store is not too far away, because we went to Lowe's, we went to Home Depot, we went to Sarasota, and like we could not find something that matched so many tones of gray and so many tones of like oak. We needed it to be 1980s adjacent because the rest of the home is so aggressively 1980s that we didn't want to turn the bathroom into like the only modern thing, but we needed it because flooding and mess in the beginning, which I won't get into. I've probably told that story. So now my bathroom, we have extra flooring for my bathroom, and my bathroom floor is linoleum, and it's like 1980s grade linoleum, and it is working so nice. But our entryway is tile. So my bathroom is like Jack and Jill to the front doorish, one of the doors area, the laundry room, entry room, one of the entry rooms. So we're going to be replacing the tile and my bathroom and like making a continuous surface that was so hard to find. But the mom and pop store had it for just a little bit more, like 20 cents more a board, or square foot, probably square foot. So we're thrilled. It needed to match. We have so much paneling and wallpapering, and I'm saying I was holding my head, but like I like it. The 1980s. We know I am leaning into the aggressive mauve pink. This color is all over our house. I can see there's like I know that's my lamp. But the flooring was very hard to nail with all of the different wood and different wallpaper, and I wanted linoleum. I wanted 1980s linoleum, but nobody puts it down here. Everybody was like, you want to do what? And my husband's flooring definitely needed done. So like that wasn't a want, that was a need. They needed to pull up the floor and check underneath for flooding and replace a few pieces of plywood, which like probably didn't really need done, but since they did, it was like only a little bit more for plywood, so it was only a few tiny little pieces. So they patched it in, and everybody's like, yo, we don't do that anymore. And then there was a company that sent me a few swatches, and it started with an M, and it's like a brand name of really nice linoleum, and I was like, I love this. And then I realized like this is going to cost us a gajillion dollars to get the look of a 1980s nice linoleum. So then we had to go with planks, and it looks really nice. That's the end of that story. So, I paint. So today I custom mixed some paint because I didn't want to paint the cabinets. They have a really nice wood trim, and we weren't replacing the the tub, and the surround is in really good shape. Cabinets are in 8 out of 10 shape. They're older, but like good. The toilet, we live in Manatee County, and they give you $100 if you change your low flow, high flow toilet to the opposite. So we already did that. Bear already did that. We have like an ivory or a crew bone. I forget what color they called my toilet, which is just over $100. It was slightly more than white, but anyway. So the paint needed to match everything in Bear's bathroom needed to be a slightly different color. So I love mixing Oops paint. That's like one of the most fun things. So we had some paint left over for my mom, and we had some cans of Oops paint. So I made like a dark ivory color, a tannish light tan color. So we nailed it. So now I have like a gallon and a half, which I'm gonna have so much paint left over. But by the time I got finished mixing white and brown and the paint my mom had and the random Oops vanilla color paint and a little bit of like blue to correct the I've got Oops paint and little tiny things. They're 50 cents usually. How could you not? How could you not just buy Oops paint? Anyway, that's the end of my story. So that's what I will probably work on for the rest of the night. And we might go swimming again. I don't know. Usually we do that about 7:30. We'll see how the weather holds. It is blue skies with some clouds, but puffy cumulus clouds. So we're okay so far. Thank you if you ordered something. Thank you if you are watching this. I hope you have a wonderful week, weekend, night, day, evening. Bonjour. Goodbye.